بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome to lesson number 4 of the Arabic course for English speaking students following the Madina Islamic University course. Now, I hope, and I really hope, that everyone has revised the vocab in the last few books, if the last few chapters rather. If people haven't, then please pause and just quickly review them and then come back, as these lessons, they rely on the previous ones and they rely on the previous grammar that we've learned, as it's just a building up of knowledge and understanding of grammar and sentence constructions. So we're going to start off with chapter 4, and of course, compared to chapter 1, the chapters are becoming more complex, and they're becoming more detailed, and we're tending to learn a bit more. So the outcomes that we're going to achieve at the end of this chapter, and this is a fairly long chapter, so bear with me, include understanding the term marfu', which is words, nouns that are in the nominative case, which we have done already. And all that means is that it ends with a dhamma on top of it. Usually 2 dhammas, can be 1 dhamma. That is referred to as marfu'. And we're going to elaborate on this and explain what can happen to it in certain circumstances. We are definitely going to learn about prepositions today, or titled huruf al-jar, words of jar, words that make something majroor, meaning put a kasra onto it at the end of it. And these are really, really important, because there's probably not a single line in the Quran that does not have a harf jar in it. And then we're going to learn about the effects of it, as I said, and we're going to learn about some pronouns. Now, pronouns are also known as, in Arabic, dhamir. That's singular, or dhama'ir. Okay, this is pronouns, and we're definitely going to be learning about pronouns. And we're also going to be learning about feminine proper nouns, rather, and actually that how they end, because in general they all end with a ta marbuta. This ta that I have written here is called a ta marbuta. So they generally end with that, but of course, nothing's ever as simple as that. There are always exceptions to this. And we will learn about some other verbs such as kharaja, thahaba, etc. So we're going to work on those. So let's start off with what we mean by marfu'. So as we have learned, nouns, words, they end with, let's take the word that we've learned many times, bait. So bait will end with tanween dhamma, baytun. So anytime there is a sound of dhamma at the end, that is called marfu'. Okay. Now, similarly, if you add an alif lam to it, it will, as we remembered, the alif lam will eliminate the tanween, which is the double, and it will make it single. So al-baytu, and that means the house. So that's a specific, that's a definite rather than an indefinite, and that is also marfu'. So whether the dhamma is double or single, this is called marfu'. And in English, we call it words in the nominative case. Now, I am going to try and refrain from using the English grammatical words, because I want everyone to focus on the Arabic words and learn those. So we're going to avoid using the word nominative. We're going to say marfu'. So everyone now should know that marfu' refers to words that end with dhamma, whether single or double. Okay? That's marfu'. Now, if we were to put that into a sentence, البيت جديد. Okay, both of these words are marfu. Both of these words are in the nominative case, but what did we say? We're just going to stick to the word as marfu. Okay, and now we're going to try and learn about what happens when you have a harf jar where preceding a word or preceding a noun particularly. Now, what does a harf jar mean? Harf jar means it turns something majroor. And majroor means it puts a kasra at the end in general. Okay? And what's a kasra? So if you were to have a, let's take the same word, bait. Let's make it al-bait. If we have it al-bayti, that is majroor. That's kasra. Okay, so the dash or the line, the slanted line underneath a word, underneath a letter rather, is a kasra. Okay, so now let's try and understand how that works. Now, what are the huruf al-jar? Huruf al-jar, there are several. We'll do a few of them this time. Fi, which means in. Ala, which means on. You guys are going to have to memorize these, okay? No exceptions. All of these words are going to have to be memorized. And actually, when the more you use it in sentences, and we're going to be using them a lot in sentences because that is the these exercises are built very much for exactly that. You will remember them more. Ala, which means on. Min, which means in. From. Ila, which means to. Ka. So if you put the word ka, which means like. So if something is like the other thing. So baytika, baytika. My house is like your house. Ka, baytika. Li, meaning for or belonging to. Okay. There are others, but we will stick with this. Okay. And we will build up on our huruf al-jar for sure. All right. So hopefully that is clear. Now what will happen? Let's try and put that into sentences or prior to words, because on their own these words don't actually confer any meaning. That's why they're called huruf. They're words. They're words that only have actually confer a meaning when they are in conjunction with other words. Okay, and that's the really important point to bear in mind. Okay, the other one, of course, is be. So, a'udhu billahi, a'udhu billahi. I seek refuge with Allah. Billahi. And we actually use that as an example. So let's take the same word that we've used a lot, al-bayt or bait. So baytun, that's the original word. It's a house, any house. Okay. Now, when we place a harf jar before it, let's take fi, so in the house. When we put a fi in front of it, it will change the baytun from marfu, which is here, to majroor. So fi baytin, fi baytin. Okay, think of the other word, on the house. Ala bay, you guessed it right, baytin, not baytun anymore. So it's converted it to kasra, majroor, from the house, or from a house, min baytin, to a house, ila baytin, okay, and so on. Let's take another example. Now, that is if this word is in the double tanween ending, right? So it's marfu, but it's double. Let's change that to, for example, the house. So we're being specific. Al-baytu. We know when we make it a definite, the alif lam eliminates one of the dhamma and makes it single because it's a specific definite. Let's take exactly the same pronouns. It will be fil. Bayti, not fil baytin, because we know definites can never be tanween. They can never have two dhammas, two fatras, or two kasras. Okay. Similarly, let's take any of the others. Min al bayti, and so on. Okay. So it will turn the word majroor, it will turn the word kasra. However, it will follow the same rule that that word originally had. So if this was tanween, or like here, it will be tanween kasra. If this was single dhamma, it will remain single kasra. Okay, now we will absolutely build up on these. Now let's take the example of ba, because you read it every single day, multiple times in your salah, before your Quran, and so on. So you say a'udhu, which means I seek refuge. A'udhu billahi. As you've noticed, this ba is this harf jar, with. I'm seeking refuge with Allah. And what has it done? It's turned the word Allahu, which is marfu' with dhamma. Now remember, whenever you're using Allah's word and you're describing its grammatical rules, you have to always, out of respect, start off with Ismul Jalala. Okay? Then you say it's marfu'. So you say Allah Ismul Jalala marfu'. Okay? So what has it done here? The ba over here has made it kasra. Okay? So next time you're reading and you're saying A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, you will remember this. And also, the same word, A'udhu Billahi, then you have min, which is harf jar, as we've noticed. Ash-shaytan nirrajim. So it's not nurrajim. Here's another example of the use of a harf jar. So when you're saying A'udhu Billahi, harf jar, min ash-shaytan nirrajim. Min ash-shaytanir rajim. So there we are. We have learned two rules and we've taken an example from something that you do every single day. Okay? So this is the sort of way I want us to try and learn, because actually all the grammatical rules are in the Quran. Now, in the last class, we learned something called na'at and man'ut, which is the adjectives. So when we say ash-shaytan ar-rajim, the ar-rajim is describing shaitan. Therefore, it should follow the same rule that the shaitan does, which will be ar-rajimi. So already we have revised words sorry, grammatical rules from the previous ones, and we will keep trying to do this on a regular basis. Okay, so let's just recap on this. Min is a harf jar. Okay, and min ash-shaytani, so that makes it majroor. Simple. Now we remember from the previous one, what does ar-rajim mean? Rajim means the damned one, the cursed one. And ar-rajim is a adjective of shaitan. It's describing shaitan. And from the last one we learnt, na'at and man'ut, or sifa and mawsuf, they have to have the same rules. So if this one is majroor, then this one has to be majroor, which is why it is exactly majroor. Okay, good. So it sounds complex, but it's quite simple when you just break them down into simple rules. Okay. Now, pronouns. Pronouns all the time. You will encounter these everywhere you start reading, whether you read classic literature, whether you read poetry, you will always have pronouns. So we're going to start building on them. Simple ones: he, huwa, she, hiya. Okay. There are many more, many more. This is for masculine singular. This is for feminine singular. However, it doesn't have to just be for he or she. It can also mean it, but for masculine, or it for feminine. So when we are talking about masculines and feminines, many words, many improper nouns also are masculine and feminine. We will use huwa and hiya. Okay, and these are for singular, and we will build upon these, and there will be more, inshallah. Okay, there will definitely be a lot more, and we will learn that things get a bit more complicated. In that thing, there are exceptions to many rules, but we will build upon them. Okay, that's all we'll say about dama'ir, about damir, and pronouns for now. So I want you to remember, huwa is for he or masculine singular, and or which is it, and she or hiya is she or it for feminine singular. Okay, now feminine nouns, a very easy way to identify whether it's masculine or feminine is if it has ta marbuta at the end, or it looks like this. So let's take the name Amina, Amina 2. Okay, that has this ta marbuta on it, ta marbuta, and that means it is feminine. Okay, let's take another name, for example, which is not a proper noun. It is a sorry, I forgot to write it. Marbuta. Yeah, let's take a noun that's an improper noun. So let's take a watch. Sa'atun. Okay. Sa'a, which means a watch. It's got ta marbuta on it at the end. Therefore, it is feminine. So if you are saying, for example, where is Amina? You will say, Aina Aminatu. Now, you may be wondering why I'm not saying Aina Aminatun. Feminine proper nouns never take tanween dhamma, so it will always be Aminatu, Aisha tu. It will never be Aminatun or Amina sorry, or Aishatun, it'll be Aminatu. Aina Aminatun, Aminatu. And your answer will be Hiya, she, fi, remember, harf jar. So we're doing two rules here. Hiya, she, fi, al, bayti, fil bayti. So hiya means she, in this case. Fi means in, and remember we said that's a harf jar, so the word after it has to become majroor with kasra, which makes it al-bayti. It's not double kasra because, of course, it is definite. Okay? Let's take, for example, the word, where is the watch? Aina sa'atu. Where is the watch? It's feminine, therefore we will still say hiya, but in this case, the hiya doesn't mean she, it means it, but feminine. Hiya, ala, it is on, al-maktabi. So, harf jar, remember? Ala is harf jar. Maktabi, it's on the table, on the desk, and it becomes majroor because it's a harf jar. Okay? So that's what we'll focus on. Now, there are other feminine proper nouns that do not have ta marbuta in Arabic. For example, names such as Su'ad. Su'adu, it doesn't have ta marbuta, but this is definitely a woman's name. Maryam, it's feminine. It's a proper noun, but it doesn't have ta marbuta. So, of course, there are exceptions to these words. Okay? And also Zainabu. Zainabu. No ta marbuta. Okay? Sa'atun, on the other hand, can take tanween dhamma because it's not a proper noun. Feminine proper nouns, such as name, which are names, do not take tanween. Okay? Right. So I think we are now ready to get started with the lesson. So ad-darsul rabi', lesson number 4. We learned harf jar. So al-baytu, the house. Fil bayti, in the house. It's kasra, it's majroor. So we're revising harf jar. Al-masjidu, the mosque. Fil masjidi, in the mosque. Al-maktabu becomes ala al-maktabi, the table, on the table. It becomes majroor. It becomes majroor, which means it has a kasra at the end. Okay? As-sariru, bed. Ala sariri, on the bed. Okay, and that's become majroor as well. So we've learned this. We're just going to keep practicing. Now, next one. What are we going to do over here? Aina Muhammadun. Where is Muhammad? Now that brings us to Aina. We've said so there are certain words that are known as Asma al Istifham. Okay, I think we touched on this previously, and it means interrogative words. Now, again, as I said, I'm going to try and avoid using any English descriptions of grammatical words because I want people to focus on the words in Arabic. So istifham comes from the word fahm. Okay, so to try and understand. So you're inquiring. You are inquiring. So aina, which means where. That's an ismul istifham. You're inquiring. You're interrogating someone. Ma, which means what. We've done ma, it's ismul istifham. Man, which we're definitely going to do in a bit more detail, which means who or whom. Again, you're asking a question. Limadha, why? A or hal, which means, on its own, it doesn't mean anything, but when placed before a sentence, it turns it into a question. Okay, on its own, it means nothing. Mata, which means when. Sorry, I got this wrong up here. Aina does not mean when. Aina means where. Beg your pardon. Mata means when. Okay, so these are some of the many asma'ul istifham. So next time I'm asking, what is aina? People should, in their minds, speak out and say, aina is an ismul istifham. Okay, so aina Muhammadun? Where is Muhammad? Huwa fil ghurfati. He is in the room. Now, they didn't place the kasra, but we all know ghurfa now has to have kasra. Why? Because it's preceded by a harf jar. Apologies if I keep repeating this over and over again, but the more we repeat these and the more we go over it, the more we will remember. وَأَيْنَ يَاسِرٌ? And where is Yasir? هُوَ فِي الْحَمَامِ. He is in the bathroom. وَأَيْنَ آمِنَةُ? And where is Amina? Hiya fil matbakhi. She is in the kitchen. Again, emphasizing that hiya is the pronoun for a feminine proper noun as well as a feminine improper. And matbakh becomes kasra because it is preceded by a harf jar. Ayn al kitabu? Where is the book? Al, because it's a specific book you're talking about. Huwa ala al maktabi. It. Now in this case, it's not he. The book is not a he. It's huwa, it. Ala al maktabi, on the table. Wa aina sa'atu? And where is the watch? Hiya ala sariri. It is on the bed. But of course, we're saying here because as-sa'a is a feminine word because of the ta marbuta. Okay, tamarin. So let's do the exercises. Ajib anil as'ilatil atiya. So you need to come up with answers. So pause, come up with answers, simple answers, and then we will go through them together. So ain al kitabu. I hope you've paused and you've written answers into these sections. Ain al kitabu. So we can say huwa ala al maktabi. And we said huwa, it, ala al-maktabi, on the desk. Okay, and we are trying to make sure we use the appropriate pronouns and that we have the appropriate huruf al-jar. Aina Muhammadun? Again, huwa, not it this time, huwa fi, he is in as-sayyarati. As-sayyarati, because of the harf jar. Good. Moving on. Aina sa'atu? Where is the watch? Hiya ala sariri. It is on the bed. Harf jar. Aina Yasir? Huwa fil ghurfati. He is in the room. So you can pick whatever words you want. You can pick whatever places you want. I'm just giving some examples. Aina Aminatu? Hiya fi as-sayyarati. She is in the car. Aminatu fil ghurfati? Is Amina in the room. So you can say نعم هي في الغرفة. أياسر في المطبخ. You can say, is Yasir in the kitchen? The answer is لا or نعم. لا هو في الفصل. No, he is in the classroom. من في الغرفة. Who is in the room? And you can pick anyone. You can say Hamza. Now here's an interesting rule. Hamza has got ta marbuta, but we know this is a feminine word. It's not a masculine word, not feminine. Hamza tu fil ghurfati. ومن في الحمام. Then who is in the bathroom? You can say أنا في الحمام. I'm in the bathroom. حمامي. ماذا على المكتب? What is on the desk? You can say الساعة, the watch, على المكتب. The whole point of this is to try and get you guys to revise and review حرف jar, على, في. So here, look. في, على, and so on. ماذا على السرير? What's on the bed? And you can say الولد, the boy. Actually, that wouldn't be correct because ماذا implies it's not animate. So let's say الكتاب على السرير. The appropriate question would be man على السرير, who is on the bed, if we're talking about a human being. Right, okay, so straightforward. Revise it, go through it one more time. اقرأ واكتب مع ضبط أواخر الكلمات. So read and write by ensuring. So what was that? We've done this before several times. You need to ensure that the endings of the words are appropriate. And that is, as I said multiple times, this is going to be one of the main things that people struggle with. However, once you get the hang of it, you will understand a bit better. So, اقرأ وأكتب, read and write, مع, with, adjusting أواخر الكلمات, the ends of the words, or checking and ensuring you have the appropriate ending of the words. المدرسة, because it's marfu. There's nothing to change it from marfu. When you put a fi before it, في المدرسة, in the school. Fil bayti, in the house. Al baytu, the house. Al ghurfatu, the room. Al hamamu, the bathroom. Al matbahu, the kitchen. Al maktabu, the table. Ala al maktabi, on the table. Harf jar. Ala al kursiyi, which is on the chair. As sariru, I think bits of the we are missing bits of the chapter. So ala, this is supposed to be ala kitabi, on the book, and it's supposed to be kitabi. Fil masjidi, in the masjid. Okay, now it's al matbahu, but if we were to have a fi, it would be fil matbahi. Okay, because this is a scanned picture of a book which is available online. There are bits of the corners missing. Okay, so اقرأ واكتب, read and write. الطالب في الجامعة. So what I want everyone to do is read, translate it to themselves, and then listen to me. Don't listen to me immediately. Read it. Place your dhammas, fathas, kasras on the words and then listen to me and see if you got it right. الطالب في الجامعة. The student is in the university. الرجل, the man, في المسجد, is in the mosque. أين التاجر? What was أين? أين is, remember, اسم, asma, it's from the asma, so we'll call it ism because it's singular. Al istifham, interrogative. أين التاجر? Where's the businessman? Where's the merchant? هو في الدكان. He is in the shop. حرف جر. القلم على المكتب. The pen is on the table. أين زينب? Where is Zainab? Remember, it's not Zainabun because it's a feminine proper noun, so it's single dhamma. هي في الغرفة. She is in the room. أين الورق? Where is the page? هو على المكتب. It's on the table. أين المدرس? Where is the teacher? هو في الفصل. He is in the classroom. أين ياسر? Where is ياسر? هو في المرحاض. He is in the toilet. الشمس والقمر. The sun and the moon. في السماء is in the sky, are in the sky. And السماء because of حرف جر. من في الفصل. Man, not min. Those of you who got min, that wouldn't make sense if you say min fil fasl, because that would mean from in the classroom, which doesn't actually make any sense. So it's man fil fasli. And you may be wondering, why didn't they put the fatha on it? Well, when you're reading classical books, they wouldn't necessarily put the fatha. It's implied, and it's like reading an English book. Man fil fasli. So this is why we're revising these, because you'll be expected to know whether it's man or min yourself. Who is in the classroom? So here we're just reviewing proper nouns, masculine and feminine. Okay, so here we've got the masculine, which is also known as muzakkar, and the feminine, which is muannath. Okay, good. Muhammadun, Khalidun, Hamidun, Yasirun, Ammarun, Sa'idun, Aliyun, Abbasun. So this is how they're written compared to feminine. Aminatu, Zainabu, Fatimatu, Maryamu, Aishatu, Khadijatu, Safiyatu, Ruqayyatu, and so on. Okay, so feminine proper nouns versus masculine proper nouns. Feminine proper nouns do not have tanween. Okay, so that's a rule you're going to have to remember. Feminine proper nouns, feminine names, no tanween. Okay, good. اقرأ واكتب مع ضبط أواخر الكلمات. Read and write by adjusting the ending of every word and ensure you get it right. Again, same exercise. Do them. Write your dhamma, kasra, fatha, tanween, and then check with me. Hamidun, Zainabu, Aminatu, Ammaru. This is Ammar is a masculine word. Sa'idun, Fatimatu, Maryamu, Aliyun, Khalidun, Abbasun, Aishatu, Muhammadun, Safiyatu, Khadijatu. Good. Moving on. Okay. So this is, it looks like it's partly been cut off in the copy. So this is meant to be al-baytu. Good. So again, we're reviewing exactly what we've done. Nothing particularly new. So we're reviewing definites becoming definite with harf jar. So al-baytu, the house. Min al-bayti, from the house. Kasra. Al-masjidu, ila al-masjidi, to the mosque. So now there's a discussion between people. Al-mudarris, the teacher, is saying, Min aina anta, where are you from? Muhammad says, Ana min al-Yabani, I am from Japan. Min al-Yabani, becomes majroor. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says, وَمِنْ أَيْنَ عَمَّارٌ, and from where is Ammar? Muhammad says, هُوَ مِنَ الصِّينِ, he is from China. Majroor. Al-Mudarris, وَمِنْ أَيْنَ حَامِدٌ, and from where is Hamid? Where is Hamid from? Muhammad says, هُوَ مِنَ الْهِنْدِ, he is from India. Kasra, Majroor. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says, أين عباس, where is Abbas? And Muhammad says, خرج. Now this is a verb. خرج. Generally the origin of most words originate from three letters. Okay, we'll discuss this in detail in the future because this is more advanced grammar and sarf, what we call. However, the three-letter words kharaja doesn't just mean to exit, it means he went or he exited. Okay? And from that one word, you can turn it into she, into me, into they, into them, and many, many different forms. Okay? But start off by understanding this. If I just say kharaja, it means he exited. He went, he exited. Also, the other word, dhahaba. Similarly, three letters, dhahaba, which means he, so dhahaba, he went as well. Kharaja specifically means to exit or to leave. Dhahaba, went, to go. So this is the question over here, Muhammadun kharaja. So the teacher is told he left, he exited, he left, he went out. And then Al-Mudarris goes, Aina dhahaba? Meaning, where did he go? Where did he leave to? And Muhammad responds, Dhahaba ila al-mudiri. He went to the mudir, to the headmaster. And he put a harf jar there because that will turn that into mudiri. Then the Mudarris asks, Wa aina dhahaba Ali? And where did Aliyun go? Where did Ali go? Muhammad says, Dhahaba ila al-mirhadi. He went to the toilet. أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. Answer the following questions. Now, من أين أنت? So you can make this up. You can say أنا من الباكستاني. I'm from Pakistan. Or أنا من الهندي. Or أنا من الصيني. Okay, the point is you're adding a harf jar and they're trying to get you to now add a harf jar and convert the following word. أنت من الفلبيين? Are you from the Philippines? The answer can be نعم. من من الصين? Who is from China? Kasra. Who is from China? You can say هو من الصين. He is from China. من أين حامد? Where is Hamid from? حامد من اليابان. He's from Japan. أين ذهب عباس? Where did Abbas go? You just need to say ذهب because ذهب means he went. You can say ذهب عباس إلى المدير, for example, but you don't need to because ذهب is sufficient. That means he went. ذهب إلى حرف جر المدير كسرة. أذهب علي إلى المدير? You can just answer by, you can say لا ذهب إلى المطبخ. He went to the kitchen. مطبخي. Okay, you can pick whatever you want. The point is try and write bigger sentences. اقرأ واكتب مع ضبط أواخر الكلمات. Read and write by ensuring you basically place the alamat at the end of each word. So ensure you adjust them and make sure if it's غرفة, it's meant to be غرفة or not غرفتي. So here, الغرفة. من الغرفة. Do it before you listen to me. من الحمام. From the bathroom. المرحاض. The toilet. إلى المرحاض. To the toilet. اليابان. Japan. الفلبين. من الهندي. From India. إلى الصيني. From to China. Okay. Next one again. اقرأ واكتب. So they want you to place all the alamat, place all the fatha, kasra, dhammas at the end, particularly at the ending of the words, and make sure you get them right. And first do that. So pause this video, please. Complete them and then check if you've got them right. Min aina Fatimatu. Where is Fatima from? Remember, Fatima is a feminine proper noun. It's a name of a person. It does not have tanween dhamma, so it's not going to be Fatimatun. Hiya, she. Min al-Hindi. She is from India. Kharaja. Remember we said kharaja means he left. Kharaja al-mudarrisu min al-fasli. The teacher left or exited min al-fasli from the classroom, harf jar, so it becomes fasli. Wa, and dhahaba, and went, ila al-mudiri, to the headmaster. Dhahaba at-tajiru. Dhahaba at-tajiru. The merchant went, ila, to ad-dukkani. Ila is a harf jar. Kharaja hamidun. Hamid left or exited. Min al-ghurfati, from the room. Now I know in English we don't say I left from the room. That is grammatically completely incorrect, but in Arabic you do. And this is where sometimes when you're listening to Arabic speakers speaking English, they will say I left from the house. We don't do that. So, but this is just another point to bear in mind that direct translation is not always accurate. وذهب, and left, إلى الحمام, to the bathroom. Man kharaja min al-fasl. So if you said min over here, that wouldn't make sense because that would mean from exit the classroom. Instead, what he's trying to say is who left who left from the classroom. But if we were to translate this, it would mean who left the classroom. Kharaja talibu. Kharaja, exited or left, at-talibu, the student, min al-madrasati, from the school. So harf jar. Wa, and dhahaba, and he went, ila suqi, to the shopping center or to the shops. Khadijatu, which is a name, not Khadijatun, min as-Sini, is from China. Wa Khalidun min al-Yabani. And this sentence was trying to almost trick you that actually there are two names, but one of them has not got tanween, the other one does have tanween. It's just to recap and make sure you guys get it. Okay, so well done if you got those right. If not, review it, go through it again. ضع في الفراغ فيما يلي حرف جر مناسبا. So place in the blanks the appropriate harf jar. So just reviewing for those who may have forgotten, min means from, ila means to, fi means what? Good. In, ala means what? On. Good. So now let's try and I want you to fill in the blanks and then we will discuss the most appropriate ones. So I hope you've done that. Al-kitabu blank al-maktabi. Okay, so the most appropriate one would be al-kitabu. The book is ala al-maktabi and it's harf jar. Al-talibu, the student. Fil fasli is in the classroom. ذهب حامد إلى الجامعة. So Hamid went to the university. خرج المدير, the mudir, the headmaster, head teacher, exited. Min, sorry, there shouldn't be a kasra there. Min al-madrasati. Of course, in English you would say the head teacher left the school. But خرج المدير المدرسة is not it's not correct. So it's من المدرسة, from the school. ذهب محمد. So Muhammad went. Something seen blank اليابان. من, from China. الصيني حرف جر. إلى, to الياباني. Good. So that concludes the chapter. So just reviewing some of the vocab that we learned. Al-madrasatu, teach, school. Al-faslu, classroom. Al-hammamu, bathroom. Al-mirhadu, toilet. Al-matbahu, kitchen. Al-ghurfatu, room. Al-jami'atu, university. As-suqu, shops. Al-yaban, Japan. Al-Sini, China. Al-Hindu, India. Al-Filipino, Philippines. Al-Mudiru, head teacher. And Dhahaba is he went. Kharaja, he left or he exited. Okay? And a final review of the huruf al-jar, which we definitely did more than that. So if anyone can remember, we definitely did a lot more than those ones. So here we've got fi, which is here, which means in. We've got ala, which we discussed. We've got min, which is from. We've got ila, which is to. Now we also did say an, which is regarding or about. We said ka, which means like. We said li, which means belonging to or for. And we said bi, which is with. Okay, and we will build upon these for sure. So if we were to summarize this chapter, have we achieved the outcomes? So we now understand what a nominative case is, and that was, just to recap, anything with a dhamma on the top, be it single or double, that is called marfu'. We have learnt about huruf al-jar, which are the words that make when placed prior to a word, turns the following word majroor, which means it places a kasra at the end of it. Okay, so we've discussed that. We discussed some pronouns. So we discussed he, she. We will discuss more. We will discuss anta, which means you, and we will discuss ana, which means me or I. We learnt about feminine nouns, particularly the names of women. That in general has rules. In general, they end with ta marbuta, but not always. And that was the exceptions we did go through. And they are never tanween, ever. They're always single. And we learned some verbs such as to exit and to go to. Okay, so these are the vocab, the new vocab for this chapter. It was a fairly long chapter, so I would really recommend again to do it at least twice, and I would recommend to go through all of them. Once you've learned this chapter, go from the beginning again and start again from chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then everything we're saying will be a lot easier to understand. Okay, so Jazakallah khair for your attention, and hopefully any questions are welcome, and I will try and keep the comments section open. And please, any questions, ask in there and we will try and address them in the next lessons. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.